Hey there, Coastal Bend. Chris Thomasson, sports director at Channel 3, joined by Islanders men's basketball coach Jim Shaw. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
All right, so, it seems like with some of these shows each week, we've kind of gone through a little bit of a roller coaster. Some weeks it'll be, hey, perfect wins. The other weeks, it'll be 2 losses. Unfortunately, this week we've got the back-to-back losses at McNeese 73-57 Saturday, and then Nichols 71-69 on Monday. So I guess first just kind of talk me through, obviously 2 kind of really different types of games, but both coming up on the wrong end.
Yeah, so you got to start Saturday at McNeese. Obviously, they have clinched the conference championship back to back. Coach Will Wade does a great job, and they've got some really good players and a good staff. We had a 3-point lead with about 18 minutes to go in the second half, and then they went on a 15-2 run, really sparked on by their offensive rebounding. We got out rebounded on the offensive end, 20-9. So that was tough. That was pretty much the difference in the game. We played well offensively for the most part. We shared the ball, got some point blank shots and some open threes. We just weren't able to hit them. So my biggest concern after that game was just the toughness part of getting beat up on the glass. But you got to credit McNeese and their players for doing that. And then you go to Nichols, a good team. They're good. Coach Sadler's got them playing hard and got out to probably 10 or 12-point lead in the first half. Again, playing good offense, taking good shots, and played well enough offensively to win. We just couldn't get enough stops uh, down the stretch, and they scored 43 points in the second half, and just let the lead slip away in the second half due to not getting enough stops.
Yeah, you mentioned the rebounding in the McNeese game. That was one thing I'd written down. Yeah, out rebounded 43-26, and then like you mentioned, giving up the 20 offensive boards. What's the biggest reason for that? Like obviously, as a coach, like that's got to be a pretty disparaging number.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we talked about right after the game. Because in the first half it was I think we had out rebounded them by 1, and then they ended up beating us by 11 on the offensive glass. Biggest thing is you got to hit your man, you got to box out, and then uh, with McNeese, they've got so much size and so much athleticism, they're able to get at least one hand on the ball. So then now you're in a 50-50 ball situation, and that's just about going and grabbing the ball out of the air when the ball's in the air with 2 hands. And so it takes not just the bigs, it takes all 5 the guards to get in there and rebound. But I think we cleaned it up and we're able to be even on the boards for the most part versus Nichols, another physical athletic team, but just disappointing that second half on the boards.
Yeah, and that kind of we mentioned that in some of the losses this year. Those final minutes, closing out games. Kind of seemed like it reared its ugly head again in Thibodeau.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to we're bottom 5 in Division One basketball and making free throws. Our free throw percentage is 62, 63% somewhere in there against Division One opponents, and so we missed 8 free throws in the second half, and it's hard to close out. It's hard to close out games if you're winning. If you're up by 2 possessions, 4 to 5 points, and you can't make free throws at the end. Never mind trying to stay in a game that's back and forth with a number of lead changes. So that's where we've got to get better, and it's just it's practice, practice, practice.
All right, so we addressed the bad. Now let's look forward. You got homecoming Saturday against Southeastern Louisiana, and then New Orleans at home Monday, and that wraps up the regular season. So, for you guys, you're 2 back of Southeastern with 2 to go. You beat them the first time. So, are you talking to the guys, be like, hey, we have a chance still mathematically to even still move up in these standings?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. We just finished practice, and we talked about, hey, for one, it's homecoming, so it's going to be the best crowd of the year. It's going to be all the alumni, everybody, all the boosters and fans and student body. So it's going to be a big game. But yeah, it's Southeastern's a really really tough opponent. They're really really good. but it's a chance for us to move up in the standings, and there's an outside chance that we can still get a bye in the conference tournament, and that's what we're playing for.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your favorite part of homecoming? Like favorite thing, one thing.
I think it's I think the tailgate and to have a doubleheader with women's basketball and Coach Chadwick and his young ladies. It's just to be at a school that puts homecoming around basketball. Obviously, it's the greatest sport in the world, in my opinion. I love watching some other sports, as you know, but it's great to have that tailgate and the unbelievable crowd at the basketball games, and to have a school that surrounds homecoming with two great basketball contests.
All right, Coach. Well, the Islanders 10-8, tied for 5th right now in the Southland standings with 2 to go. Again, Saturday, homecoming against Southeastern, and then UNO on Monday there at the Bank Center. Coach Shaw, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach Ben, we'll see you next time on Hang Time.